Hello, everyone. This is the Dark Lord Midnight here, and well, this is no episode of RWBY Z, nor just a gameplay. I rarely do that now. But in fact, this is the first review. I am here with High Hunter. You may know him as the narrator.
I am God.
And coming here to join us today.
Excuse me.
There.
Hi, I'm here too. Thank you very much.
Did somebody hear something?
And this is Rose Petal. You know her as the voice.
Excuse me,
of
I have no idea of this Rose Petal you're talking about. She sounds lame. I am a Weiss Shani.
Well, yeah. Hey, Weiss.
The two got closer together and slowly leaned in to kiss each other, then continued.
That is enough. That is enough. Thank you very much. But that is all.
Yeah. And also, I feel so much for Blake. There's Yang, but.
Oh God, please! You have a lot of love issues, man. You gotta rest for now.
Okay.
So today we are discussing many types of the news on Rooster Teeth. Specifically, the first episode of RWBY Volume 8.
And for first off, spoilers ahead, obviously, because that's what happens when you click on videos like these where we talk about episodes. You're gonna get spoiled about them. So if you don't want your little whiny eyes to get spoiled, leave. And go probably watch our RWBY Z videos.
What? Oh no, spoilers.
Yes. We're not responsible. Guys, we're not responsible. Neither of us are responsible if you get spoiled. So don't cry to us if you get spoiled. Do not cry about us if you get spoiled.
Because if anyone writes in the comments, how dare you? Well then guess what? I can how dare you back.
You were warned.
And so if you don't want to be spoiled, instead go watch our RWBY Z videos. Those could use some views too. Aren't exactly the most popular.
Yes,
Yes,
Do it.
Give us some views, people.
They're pretty bad audio quality, but the story's decent. Because someone needs to get a better mic.
Hey. Oh, me, High Hunter.
You get paid plenty. You get paid in cookies.
Who do you mistake me for, dolt?
Yeah. Actually, I give her ice cream.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You get paid in ice cream and cookies. And like that might Rose begin.
I give the cookies to RWBY anyways. She's gonna end up with diabetes at this rate.
All right, so then let's get this into it. What do we all think of the episode to begin with?
I'm gonna go last, please, since I like hearing everyone's opinions on this.
Quick question, in character or out of character?
Up to you.
Yeah.
What does White think? What does Rose Petal think?
Well, you can also ask what Cinder thinks, since I also voice her.
Oh, of course.
What does Cinder think then?
For one, I think Emerald should still be quiet.
Of course.
Valid point. I'll allow it.
She feels like she's giving me, how do those young kids say it? Mega simp vibes.
Mm.
Or is it thought because she's female?
Of course, darling.
Yes. If you're wondering why I just called Cinder Darling, it's
Beats me.
because I voice another villain, which I'm not gonna reveal who. He's the main villain of the series.
Duh.
Indeed.
Because we're gonna be keeping that secret until you go watch our stuff.
Trust your damn weather, people.
And I hate to be a sellout, but be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And share. It's good. Don't talk to yourself. Share it to everyone else and everyone you know.
That's why I lied. You hurt me, Weiss.
I shared it to my friends. They all said the audio sucked.
You can blame me for that one.
I was really surprising before because honestly, when I first posted the first episode, I thought many people were gonna hate it. But when they showed it to my server, to like the other server and the group chat, many people were like, "Yes, make another episode of this," and I was like, "Okay."
And then there was that one dude in the comment that's like, "Please put me in your video."
Yeah, I was like, I like. Look, I accept all BAs who wants to join the series, but honestly, I don't know if I want to use Shadow.
But we accept professional auditions.
Profe-
Keyword. Professional.
Yeah, like us.
Don't accept YouTube comments.
But you can feel free to share his audio because maybe not. I haven't heard the man's voice or the woman's voice. I'm sorry, dear comment. I don't know your gender.
Sexist.
For the sake of not assuming gender, the proper pronoun is they, you dolt.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know, Minnie. Don't blame me, guys. I'm just a 13-year-old hybrid who's going through a lot of stuff.
I then proceeded to lecture him about the correct pronouns.
It's not my fault. It wasn't my fault or anything.
And why, if you don't know of their gender, either you ask for their pronouns, and if you can't, just simply say they.
It wasn't my fault. I was raised.
Well, now that you're properly educated, you don't have an excuse.
That's true. That's.
She smacks the ruler on the table like a teacher getting ready for class.
I didn't think she was into that kind of thing, but okay.
I didn't ask for that comment. I really didn't.
Okay, look, I gave Blaze the permission of the typical anime protagonist. Don't go too far, High Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hell from the line bloopers, so
I feel like we're digressing.
I may as well make sure that the road to hell is paved with all the sins I can.
I feel like even I'm going to hell as well. I have the rage boost, and I feel like I'm about to do a lot of dark stuff throughout the series. So
All going to hell. We didn't go to Sunday church.
none of us did.
I hate it.
So anyway,
Back to the topic of Volume 8. Please.
alright.
Well, let's start with the intro then. What do we think of the intro?
Alright, so I said my pros. I love the whole entire idea of team. Like, I told Hiram this before, and I love the whole entire idea of Team RWBY, Jennifer, and Oscar, like, splitting up. Not exactly in a Civil War-y, like, although that would be pretty thick.
Not entirely, but it's still different enough to know that it's not the usual
Yeah, and it
status
also
quo.
goes with the opening song Divide because, they're additionally main things. Yeah, like,
That's the title of the song? I don't know.
we're saving, like, some people want to save Atlas, but some others want to save Mantle. And everyone just goes into a big argument, but thankfully, we have that neutral guy, John, to just say, yeah, let's do both of them. Which caused the whole entire group to do.
And John being like, shut up, stop arguing.
Exactly.
Listen, just stop it.
Yeah. It's basically just have them do exactly what they don't want to do, and that's to just split up. Ironically, as I heard it stated in the other server, they did split up the ships, and well-known ships, not best ones in my opinion, but furthermore, just split up the ships, if you see what I mean.
I think it's very interesting what they might do with Renora.
And also why I mentioned before that Ren has death flags in my opinion, but we don't talk about that.
Redheads are always high.
Like, I'm scared for Ren and Nora. I'm terrified for Ren and Nora. Please let them get a happy ending.
It's the redheads that die, though.
Though I know I'd be lying.
I feel like normally redhead that's gonna survive.
Just like how I said, I want to deny Bumblebee, but I know I'd be lying.
I don't care, they just need to figure it out. Is it good, is it not? Are they friends or are they not friends? Or are they friends with benefits?
They're friends with Ben.
Yes. First they say, let them be sisters. Don't Don't let them be. Don't let them be.
Yang and Ruby are already sisters, but they don't really show that much, huh?
I mean, what's it called? If that's their kink.
I mean, my best ship is already ruined.
I'm done. Tell me that, please.
So the next pros I can say, we got, for my personal opinion, because Neo's Bay. I love more scenes of her, obviously, so I'm gonna add. So I added that.
Simp. Neo Simp.
Shush.
I mean, she's why wouldn't you?
That's just Mercury and April's new outfit. They're so badass.
Not gonna lie, I was talking to my friends the other day. Yo, imagine if Mercury and Emerald actually get redesigns. And in like the first 2 minutes of the film, I just slam my headphones. I call up my friends and I'm like, guys, guess what? They care about them. They're there.
It's like I call.
And they look fashion.
Yes. I was like, yeah, like Mercury is cool. The Emerald's new outfit. Girl can kill me if she wants to.
You be like, step on me, senpai?
Maybe. Not at that level.
Say it with me now, Huner. Set.
Not simping if she's hot.
I only simp for Neo, so not only that. I also like the knowledge that the grandma are just hunting around a mantle, and now they're setting their sights on Atlas because, well, 70 heroes lost.
If I may, can I actually say something
Yeah.
regarding the episode? I think this is just for the volume as a whole eventually. Is it just me, or has the cinematography really improved?
I mean, it's improved quite a bit now.
Like, they definitely started looking at a more show, don't tell aspect.
I mean, what's it called? They've always had problems with it, but like, in particular, it seems like the animators, at the very least, are getting some idea of it. They don't always get it. There are some awful shots time to time, but mostly I think they've gotten like a grasp of what it is they're trying to achieve, or at the very least, Carrie seems to have some sense of direction for what he wants to happen. Narratively is another thing entirely, but cinematically, I think there's enough there to say, hey, there's stuff here that works.
Yeah. I can agree on terms of that.
I feel like the showrunners are trying to go for a more show, don't tell approach. And in certain scenes, it works, like Yang's scene in the bar and where she flashes back to the apartment thing.
Yeah,
like
the transitions.
That scene, it works. And in certain scenes later on in the volume, maybe it won't work. But they are trying, and they are taking risks, and they have balls.
Yes.
And I respect that.
I respect.
Speaking of having balls,
I respect their. I will get to that. That's the cons I posted on spoilers on the short answer. But so yeah, I could like they're putting effort. At times I usually like to rant. I not like to rant, but I end up ranting around them. I mean, God forbid, Honey Hunter and I had our fair share of rants for Volume 7, but I can at least respect their little vision.
I don't think you want to read my opinions of Volume 7 because what's it called? It will either shatter your view of RWBY, or you will say, "Oh dear God, there's a lot of negative here."
That's okay, Hunter. I said my rant on Volume 6, so
say it. You won't. No balls.
Like Volume 7. Some were negatives there, some were positives there. For Volume 6 and 5, I had a whole entire chapter of rants that I advise no one wants to read ever.
Well, maybe at the end of this season, we can do like a retrospective. After we've done like a Volume 8 as a whole retrospective, we can do a Volume 7 retrospective, Volume 6 retrospective, all that, because people love hearing our beautiful voices.
And then we count down to the... I was actually talking about this with a couple friends of mine, but apparently we figured that there are going to be at least 12, I believe 12. There might be less, depending on whatever is going on with Rooster Teeth. But
I started looking up some of the linked episodes, and there's a slight chance that it could be 14 episodes. I think.
so, like, let's say if they finish at season 12, and this is going to be my rant about the music. So, I feel like in season 12, they should bring back a lot of, like, certain leitmotifs from all the songs from previous volumes, and they should count down. Like, for the intro, it could be something completely new for volume 12. Like, say 12 is the last one, for example. And then, like, they're just counting down 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then for the last scene, like, you know, the final boss, and, like, as Salem is, like, defeated, it just fades, and you hear the slightest. That, honestly, just picturing that, like, that would be amazing.
Basically, a little bit reference to this will be.
So I think maybe I wouldn't go with this. What's it called? Maybe go with This Will Be the Day, but I think bring it back to like the Red trailer if you're gonna do something like that. Instead of going that, go dun 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 dun. Dun.
Well, they could probably do like the Red Like Roses leitmotif, like in the midst of battle. I'm talking about like as the
what's it
battle
called?
fades,
It's like the final
like,
battle.
as it finishes.
What's it called? I know the exact like music thing.
Yeah, so that would be honestly that would probably be pretty okay. I don't care what else they're gonna do, as long as how they do it is okay. I'm gonna be cool. So now we get down to the. Oh yeah, one more thing. I love how Winter shows some hints of doubt. Because, you know, she said that she had to push her own sister away, and that emotion and that face expression she made was sort of breathtaking. But now we get on to the cons. So I didn't like how Ironwood had to kill that man. I know both of you might disagree with me, but that scene just felt like it was like the writers were just forcing Ironwood to be a full villain, if you know what I mean. Because you see there's so many people. Cause like,
I mean,
it feels like they saw that some of these people back in Volume 7 was like making some arguments for Ironwood that he's still he's just trying to do what is best, and it's like he's not mentally well. He's not gonna gamble.
I mean, he did last time. But let's not forget to put a little boy off down into the whatever abyss the freaking thing is in. So it's not too far-fetched.
That's fair. He did shoot Oscar down.
I think it's mainly because the writers wanted to highlight, hey, Volume 7 Ironwood, pre-Volume 7 Ironwood, is not Volume 8 Ironwood. He's essentially, this is like, it's like what Watt said in Volume 7. Our Tin Man's heart has cost him his mind. He is not thinking straight, to the point where he will gladly take out anyone that will prevent him from winning, including his own life.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? Have you guys seen the
And he shot Councilwoman Slate because, one, he already shot Oscar in Volume 7, so that shouldn't even be complained about. Second, it's to highlight that Ironwood is morally gray as his hair.
That's fair. Yeah, I do see Ironwood at this point as just morally gray. But I worry they might forcefully paint him solely down into the black pace. And make this all a white and black scenario.
I do not think he's going to join Salem's side. And here's why. Number 1, Watts. 2, analyze the intro.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just going further down to the dark side. But like, I say still keep Ironwood being morally gray. but not have him be, a full villain, if you know what I mean. Like a villain who,
He's gonna be essentially an anti-hero.
yeah, an anti-hero. That's
Exactly what
Speaking,
they're gonna be painting him
what's
as.
it called? The correct term for him is anti-villain. Anti-hero does bad things for personal gain. He's doing bad things for a more noble gain. So technically, and I think anti-villain is the correct term for Ironwood. I mean, he's on the
Honestly, I rarely ever thought the term anti-villain, but yeah,
And also, it also explains how he feels essentially in 2 seconds from the Volume 8 intro again. There's a scene of chess where Salem is controlling the board, and all of the different pieces are different Grimm. Meanwhile, flip to the other side of the board, and there's only one pawn, Ironwood, and there is no person moving that pawn because Ozpin is gone.
Furthermore,
yeah.
And so it is all on him, and that pawn has to come to a decision.
pawns a sacrifice. We've all played chess, right?
Technically, isn't Ironman like a shiny knight in Osmond Salem's game of chess?
It depends how you rank every one of the what's it called, yellow brick brunch. I don't call them the Osluminati. They're the yellow brick yellow brick bunch. If I can say things right.
The yellow brick bunch.
Yes, that implies a better connection to the Wizard of Oz. And now it's
Is the narrator voice giving you some articulation problems?
yeah, that's probably the Rain. Fuck you, Rain. And like that, we're demonetized. Thank you.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to chess pieces, RWBY, honestly, I can say one thing clear. RWBY is technically the shining white knight in Ozpin's chess. Well, Cinder is like the dark chess. So I need to add that. Also, personally, I didn't like how Oscar was reunited with the others that fast in the early episode of the volume. If you wanted Oscar to just be reunited, I wish they kept Oscar away from the group for at least the first episode or like halfway through the episode. So like we see an episode or an arc where Oscar gets to develop himself. Give him a character arc, damn it.
We all know that's not gonna happen. He's as bold, he's as bland as the bananas in his hair.
God damn it.
You like that one?
No.
Yes, I do. I was going to say, what's it called? The reason they found him so quickly is because after Volume 6, when he ran away, they put a tracker in him. They're like, no, we're not losing him again. Someone put a tracker in him.
You had two chances, Rooster Teeth. 2 chances this time to give Oscar a chance where we could see him grow himself. And without having Team RWBY, or God forbid, RWBY or Rose Garden interfere. But nah, you cannot separate Rose Guardian for at least one episode.
Technically speaking, they did towards the end, so you're wrong. But I know what you mean.
So at least I get the final laugh that all ships are separated when they divide teams.
Well, not White Rose. White Rose is still on the table.
Never said that. No.
We don't talk about that. Moving on, because I don't want to ignite the shippers. Next.
No. If I hear one more person if I hear one more person, if I see a comment, come down here and give me because of White Rose and Bumblebee. I'm gonna fight everyone in the streets.
Breaking news: some random guy has been found fighting shippers.
Like, look, just because you like your ship doesn't mean that I don't have to like them.
All right.
But at least they split up Bumblebee. Thank God. But I have no idea. I have no doubt that they'll reunite.
Hey, Huner, I'm
Freaking
Back to Volume 8 and not the ships.
exactly. So I guess you're next, Rose
And I'm
Petal. What
tired
did
of
you
being a
like? What did you
character.
hate?
Well, I honestly couldn't find much that I hate considering that it's one episode. I like that they're experimenting, especially since they have the guts to experiment. Because I know most of the time, since Rooster Teeth tends to rush their work at times, they mostly try to play it safe on the end just so that way they can get it turned in time.
Speaking of a character we hate,
I mean,
let's talk about Cinder. Finally, because of 8 volumes.
Finally, she gets 2 seconds of a
Finally,
backstory.
get
The girl
a
is finally getting her
goddamn-
justice.
Yes.
8 years for 7 seconds. Absolutely worth it.
Finally, my girl gets her revenge.
It's absolutely worth it because it's one of the things I do not like about Cinder. We don't know nothing about her.
Wouldn't it be funny if she, instead of having like the evil stepmother, like it's the story, it's like she had the nicest stepmother ever.
I mean, considering
Like, oh, Mom, go away.
It'll just show
Oh,
this whole time Cinder was
or
just-
maybe because considering that it's a twisted version of Cinderella, I feel like since she's still scrubbing the floors and stuff, she probably has a trashy boss, aka stepmom. And maybe I feel like
probably.
in other ways they would. Oh, what if the evil stepsister was the scientist in the photo? And so Cinder would get constantly compared to herself, hence why she has like a power-hungry complex.
I see what you mean. I think that's more approval than necessarily power, but I can follow that to an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at first it turned into approval, but then I don't know, she probably just killed her stepmom and then it just became a power-hungry thing.
That sounds about it, right, Cinder?
I'll say, I know this is one of the times where I can't believe I never thought I ever say this, but honestly, I will be glad that Cinder's alive because we never would have gotten this scene. I keep saying, oh, come on, kill her off already. She's boring now since Volume 5. She died in Volume 5.
Actually,
came back in Volume 6.
Wait, are we talking about Cinder or Emerald?
Talking about Cinder's past and all her significant events leading up to this point, leading up to those glorious 7 seconds. Glorious.
I mean, I for one thought this. I just thought for one that she was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
I think this is my biggest problem. This is mostly visible in Cinder, hence why I think she tends to get most of the hate. But the problem is, this is for all of the characters too. It's not just Cinder. She's just the most obvious. But if you look deep, all of the characters have it. No character has a why. They don't have a goal in mind. Hence why most of them seem to have the character development of a plastic cup.
Exactly. Indeed.
None of the characters have an individual want.
It all happened. And to believe this all happened in Volume 3, and I used to praise it. Then I thought deeper and deeper, and I was like, oh my God, why did I ever like this?
The only character that seems does have a want, and hence why she was the most visible, is Cinder. What does she want? She wants more power. Do we know why? Absolutely not. For RWBY, for example, what does she want to do? She wants to help people. Why? I don't know. My parents helped people.
Yeah. That's sort of the thing. Yeah, that's sort of the thing that I feel like with the writers in RWBY, and dare I say I'm sorry, but I feel like that's what Miles sort of suffers through, because like none of these characters, like you try to make me like them, but it's hard for me liking any of these protagonists because their character doesn't interest
The only
me.
two main protagonist characters that have a want and why are Weiss and Blake. And even now, Weiss's goal is kind of outdated. What does Weiss want to do? Grow out of the family name. Why? Because her father is
Yeah.
a
Blake's is also done too, because Adam's now dead, and unless they're stupid to bring him back,
Huntress.
which I don't put.
Yeah. I don't know what Weiss. Honestly, I don't know what Weiss really wants. At times, you see her wanting to take away the team name from Jock and try to rule over herself. But then times you see her say, "No, I don't want to be around the Sea Dust Company. I want to be my own person as a huntress." Make up your mind, Weiss. Honestly, I think the best character way to go it is just have her. I wish that like she could have just like at first during the beginning of the series want to be like Chuck, but then just said, "Nah, I'm not going to. I'm gonna change my asshole brother to be good. Take away the name from my father, then give it to him." Blake, nah, I don't want to talk about her arc. It brings me pain.
I mean, Blake would require more to look deep in, essentially.
Say that again, Rose.
I think for if we're looking at Blake's character specifically on her want and why, hers is probably the most dated because her
Yeah.
main want and why was the Mistral arc.
Yeah.
So one more thing I need to add to mention. The RVB Death Battle sneak peek. Don't listen to the boost. Mute him. Mute
That is
him
not
in church.
We all
I
know that's
don't
not
like
gonna
their
happen.
voices. They're no.
Church is the same.
Just
Bernie's still in that one. It's Caboose that's not Caboose.
sorry. This little church to me just sounded very different. I'm sorry. But if that's Bernie, then I'm shocked.
That is still Bernie. Maybe Bernie's just like tired and it's like his first recording or something. Because I did think there was something a little off about him, but no, it is Bernie that's talking. I could hear it properly after. I was actually more concerned that Tucker wasn't Tucker. I thought Miles was filling in for what's his name, Jason again.
Yeah. Honestly, the Blues' new voice sounded very unless it was Joel, but if that wasn't, then I say my case.
Joel. I can tell you right now that wasn't Joel, merely for the fact that Joel was no longer working for Rooster Teeth. Furthermore,
even when I heard the first line the Caboose just said it there, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! Please make it stop." You sound like you sound like an intelligent person trying to look dumb.
no, what's it called? It sounds like they said, speak these words accurately as you can, and then we'll pitch shift it in post. That's what it sounds like to me. Speak the words as concisely as you can, and then we'll pitch shift it.
All right. Anyway.
And I must be taking my leave.
Pleasure hanging out with you again.
Any of the viewers watching, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that cringy YouTuber jazz.
Thank you for watching this review of RWBY Volume 8, Episode 1. We'll be doing this almost every single week. Well, any type of day when we have time. There'll be an element. It's an element of surprise. This is why we don't do schedule, people. Element of surprise.
Exactly.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this.
Don't call them, we call them surprise mechanics.
Yes. You don't call us. We call you. There's no in between. So anyway, this is Midnight, aka Blaze, Rose Battle, aka Weiss, And I am aka
The voice.
narrator, and soon to be another character. Signing
Catch you
out.
later.
Okay, but